As per usual, Sony certainly like to have the last word, and this is because the Sony press conference is usually the one that rounds out the show before the floor opens to all of the press to flood in for the exhibitors floor during the week of E3. Ever since Sony undeniably won E3 2013, the PlayStation 4 has enjoyed a fantastic year of trampling all over Microsoft's Xbox One, not only in sales figures, but I think probably in the quality of games that have come out for the individual consoles. However, it certainly seemed that Microsoft weren't about to let that happen once again. And they definitely brought their A game this year, with their own show being packed full of games, and yet more games. So how on earth was Sony going to respond? Well, with pretty much anything you can do, Microsoft, we can do better. And they had the games to show it. Starting, of course, with Destiny. Now, of course, Bungie's sci-fi multiplayer shooter is by no means a PlayStation exclusive, as it will also be appearing on the Xbox One and the PC. Yet Sony is certainly very eager to tie the PlayStation to the image of Destiny. And going by what we saw during their E3 demonstration of the game, I can't blame them for wanting to do so. The show began with a brand new Destiny trailer called New Beginnings. In the trailer, details around the background and narrative of Destiny were revealed, such as how the Traveler has tripled the lifespan of humans threefold and even brought about the golden age of technology. But this, of course, has inevitably resulted in the downfall of mankind, and you, as the player, are the last hope for mankind's salvation. The trailer also showed off some very interesting locations, such as tropical storms and sandblasted deserts set on Mars. Man, this trailer had everything. We also got to see some footage of players using new gameplay mechanics, such as deployable jet bikes and spaceship cloaking devices. And for the first time, we even got to see some of the new playable races taken to the field. Destiny is certainly shaping up to be one of the best titles of 2014, and the perfect excuse to pick up a next-gen console if you haven't already done so. But you might just want to hold back on that one, because Sony also revealed a Glacier White PlayStation 4 that will be bundled with Destiny when the game launches this September. The bundle contains a 500GB PlayStation 4 and a copy of Destiny, along with a 30-day trial of PlayStation Plus, and will retail for $449. The beta, playable first on PlayStation 4 for Destiny, will go live on July the 17th. Alright, so another reason why you might want to pick up a PlayStation 4 if you haven't already done so is for the PlayStation 4 exclusive, The Order 1886. Sony kept the show rolling with a look at some actual gameplay footage of the third-person action shooter set in a steampunk-style Victorian London. And from what I gotta say, The Order is looking a lot darker and a bit more, brown trouser time than what we'd originally anticipated. May just be a game that you might want to play with the lights on. The gameplay trailer looked superb, and it actually was kind of hard to tell where the trailer stopped and the actual gameplay began. The trailer sees our protagonist, Galahad, do battle against werewolves and zombies and demons, all of those nasties. Some of the baddies on show, no matter how many shells hammered home, just simply wouldn't go down. During a particularly terrifying section, Galahad is forced to use stealth tactics in order to bring down a werewolf because he's woefully unequipped to bring it down through other methods. It was a truly terrifying section of the game. There was also some very interesting weaponry being put to good use, such as a thermite rifle, which, obviously shows the very pretty lighting effects that the PlayStation 4 is capable of. The setting of the steampunk Victorian-style Neo-London is also extremely well realised, probably owing to the fact that the development studio Ready at Dawn actually visited London for inspiration during the development process. Now, The Order 1886 goes on sale February the 20th, and Sony also revealed that there would be 2 special editions available for purchase when the game does release, a collector's edition and a premium edition. Alright, the third game that I'd also like to mention is also the third game in its series. Yes, Little Big Planet 3 will be making its debut on the PlayStation 4. The third game in the series is no longer being developed by Media Molecule, who worked on the previous games in this series. No, this one seems Sumo Digital taking up the reins. Along with the trailer, Sumo Digital also came out on stage for a live demonstration of the game. Now, the trailer reveals some new characters, Oddsock, Toggle, and Swoop, who will be joining Sackboy as the third game in the series introduces 4-player co-op. Each of the new characters has a different ability open to them. Oddsock can wall jump and move faster than the others, and Toggle will switch between a giant strong figure to a tiny little guy to solve puzzles, and then finally Swoop can carry her teammates to reach higher areas. Oh, and Sackboy's also received a little bit of a revamp as he can now also scale walls and blast obstacles out of the air. During the stage demo, the team members playing the game did have some trouble controlling the characters through the trickier sections of the game, yet it seems that this third game in the series has lost none of the charm that made the series so popular. To round out the presentation, Sony's Kaz Hirai even took to the stage to reveal that all of the content that had been created for the previous games, now that's over 7 million user-created levels, will be available in Little Big Planet 3 from day one. So, just as quickly as Little Big Planet 3 put a smile on everybody's face, From Software arrived to bring the tone down just a little bit as Bloodborne was announced. Yes, the heavily leaked and rumoured project that was Project Beast was revealed to be Bloodborne, the latest action RPG to come from developers From Software. Sony showed a debut trailer for the game. Now, in this trailer, we got to see some very haunting imagery of a 19th century medieval town, simply dripping in gore and horror. Bloodborne takes place in the city of... I'm going to have some trouble pronouncing this one, I know it. The city of Yarham, which unfortunately is riddled with a disease that turns the unfortunate occupants into zombies, and on occasion even into something worse. Although there are rumours that a cure does exist within the city, which of course has caused those poor infected to flock to the city, much to the displeasure of those few healthy folk that are still knocking about. Bloodborne also sees the return of Hidetaka Miyazaki, who has made his bones with the excellent Demon Souls and Dark Souls. However, he did skip development on Dark Souls 2. Unlike the Dark Souls series, however, Bloodborne seems to remove itself from the realm of knights and swords and heraldry and focuses more upon the blood and gore of the situation. There's also been a slight switch in the weaponry on show, as the trailer paid particular attention to heavy meat cleavers and butcher's blades. There was even a showing of a medieval shotgun. Bloodborne is a PlayStation 4 exclusive and should see release in 2015. Alright, stick with me guys, because there's just one more thing I want to mention, because, well, you could not have a Sony E3 press conference without Naughty Dog putting on a show. Sony revealed that the remastered edition of the excellent Naughty Dog title The Last of Us would be going on sale July 29th, with all of the previously DLC included. Remember, that includes that excellent Left Behind DLC. Now, the remastered edition sees Naughty Dog making the game run at full 1080p, 60 frames per second, along with some higher resolution character models, better textures, and improved lighting mechanics. Along with some interesting, unique PlayStation 4 controller functionality. I wonder what that means. Going to be interesting to find out, definitely. There's even going to be another difficulty mode included called Grounded Mode. Of course, you can always rely upon Naughty Dog to leave you with a showstopper, which is exactly what they did with the cinematic reveal trailer for Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This is the one title I bet every PlayStation 4 owner is dying to get their hands on, but you're just going to have to wait until 2015 to do so. Now, beyond the actual video description, there are little known details about the game, yet the description reads, several years after his last adventure, retired fortune hunter Nathan Drake is forced back into the world of thieves. With Stakes much more personal, Drake embarks on a globe-trotting journey in pursuit of a historical conspiracy behind a fabled pirate treasure. His greatest adventure will test his physical limits, his resolve, and ultimately what he's willing to sacrifice to save the ones he loves. Man, that does sound deep. Now, the trailer ran at 1080p 60 frames per second and looked absolutely superb, and according to Naughty Dog was used and captured using entirely in-engine footage. I strongly suggest that you seek this trailer out just to understand how unbelievable that may be. Boy, oh boy, those certainly are some fantastic looking games. I mean, what a way to throw it in the face of Microsoft, eh? Although I'm going to have to leave it up to you guys to decide just who won E3 this year. Of course, this wasn't all that Sony had to show. Some other highlights of their press conference being a remake of Grim Fandango coming to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita. Bit of an odd one, that one. An excellent trailer from Hello Games, the developers of No Man's Sky, showing just how much progress they've made with the spacefaring indie title since its reveal last year. Outside of the world of video games, Sony also announced that the PlayStation TV will incorporate Sony's streaming service, PlayStation Now, and allows you to play some Vita titles and the PSP and PlayStation 1 classics through Sony devices, and will retail for about $100. Apparently, there's also a Ratchet and Clank movie in the works. Both Project Morpheus and the Vita got an honourable mention just to remind us that they're still on Sony's game plan, with apparently over 100 different titles in development for the PlayStation Vita. And finally, Sony got to announce Grand Theft Auto 5 would be coming to next-gen consoles and the PC sometimes towards the end of this year. Well, I think that does pretty much cover everything. Well, everything that you need to know right away about the Sony press conference. Of course, you can follow me at XBenBlasterX, where I'll keep you regularly updated with everything E3 as it comes. And be sure to stick with me through E3 week, where I'll be bringing you more summaries from the major press conferences. Once again, I've been Ben Monroe, and thanks for joining me, guys.